Noelle, and we're here at our Oakwood Village store at Petitti's, and it is getting to be hydrangea season. They are looking gorgeous, and it doesn't matter which kind you have. I'm going to kind of go through the different families that we offer, and hopefully you'll have your best success growing them. Right now for hydrangeas, if you want to place them in more of a sunny spot, 6 or more hours of direct sunlight, you want to choose a Panicle Hydrangea or Hydrangea paniculata. Those are the ones that have more of a cone-shaped flower on them. So I've got 2 different varieties here just to show you there is variation in the flower. So the one below here, this is Bobo. Bobo is a compact panicle hydrangea, but very, very large, thick flowers. You see that true cone shape, really, really nice and full cone. The one behind it is actually Quickfire. Quickfire hydrangea, and there's also a little Quickfire actually. These are more, if you will, a kind of starry lace cap type of panicle where you'll find the big sterile flowers and then the small little starry true flowers on this hydrangea. What's neat about the Quickfire family is it blooms early and then it'll start changing pink and then getting darker and darker and darker. So if a hydrangea, if you want one in a very, very sunny spot, the Panicle family is really, really good. And of course, they're super cold tolerant too. So you can plant them in containers. You can leave them out in the back 40, not have to worry about them over the winter. They're very, very cold tolerant. Now this one right next to it is actually called Minnie Moffitt. And Minnie Moffitt is a new smooth hydrangea for us. And this is Hydrangea arborescens. What's really neat about this plant is it is a native to the United States. It has very straight stems, kind of fuzzy leaves. And this plant will bloom and produce no matter how you cut it or where you cut it. This plant comes typically in white, so you'll see big white pom-pom type flowers. You'll also see some of the newer varieties really show off more of the darker pink colors as well, and Minnie Moffitt is one of those. She's a compact variety, really growing more like a 3 foot in the garden, whereas some of the older smooth hydrangea are much taller. Again, this hydrangea can take more sun, more abuse, more cold. However, I think they still do better and bloom better for you in that partial sun range. So 6 to 4 hours of direct sunlight usually does really well. Eastern exposure, especially that morning sun, and then getting some evening shade from the house works really nicely. So that's Minnie Moffitt. Now right here, you can probably tell from the foliage, this is an oak leaf hydrangea. And your oak leaf hydrangeas are really the ones that want to be in the most shade or are the most shade tolerant. So if you have woodier areas, getting dappled sun through the trees, you have a very dark northern exposure, this is a great plant for you. This is ice crystals, and what I love about ice crystals is, again, it has more of that lacy flower to it, really, really beautiful petals, lacy or lace cap flower, and then the foliage. The foliage is really sharp cuts in it, and so it gives a lot of really pretty texture out in the landscape, especially in the shade garden. These plants, you have to be careful. They really do need some good protection, some good mulching, okay? And they also, you can't prune them whenever you want to. You can deadhead them, so remove spent flowers at this time of year. And I'm just gonna show you really quick. I'm gonna clip one for you. So you can remove spent flowers just counting 2 nodes down. So 1, 2, and we'll show you with a picture, and I'm just gonna cut right above the 3rd node. So if you see, I've got 1 node, 2 nodes, and then I cut right above the 3rd node. So you can do that with these hydrangeas. Don't cut into them very, very heavily. They do so much better on mature wood, bloom better on mature wood. Really, the only time to prune them is when their flowers are spent. You can go in and cut some stems back, shape them a little bit, and that would be actually at the end of July. So get that done before the end of July, and they'll be fine. They'll still fill out. They'll still bud and bloom for you next year. Now, our most popular hydrangea, of course, is going to be the Hydrangea Macrophylla. And there are so many gorgeous varieties out there now. Hydrangea Macrophylla likes to grow in that part sun condition. So again, 4 to 6 hours. You do have to watch the watering with all of these hydrangeas. They do like moister soil, moist yet well drained. So if you can keep the water level up, that's always going to be good for hydrangeas. And then this one is called Tilt-a-Swirl. And look at these flowers. They look like silk flowers. They look so unreal, striped pink and green, and just really, really beautiful. This is a really nice compact hydrangea, works very, very well, very cold hardy, but still some mulching benefits the hydrangeas just to keep those roots moist, okay? And the one I have next to it, this is a double flower, okay? And so the double flowered hydrangeas, you'll see, this is actually called Perfection. And boy, talk about beautiful big blossoms, really, really gorgeous. There's a white one that's called Wedding Gown that's really beautiful as well. And again, these hydrangeas are a little bit bigger, 4x4 usually when they're full grown. Again, deadheading anytime you want to, about 2 nodes down. But when you get to pruning these and shaping these and trying to control their size, you want to do it before the end of July, okay? Just so you don't interfere with the bloom and bud cycle for next year. Now, I do have to tell you just a little tidbit. Newer Macrophylla hydrangea varieties, they will produce on old and new wood. So regardless of really how you're pruning, but I still want you to be careful, they will develop buds and blooms for you. But still with Hydrangea Macrophylla, it's best to only prune them when you need to, only deadhead when you need to, and don't cut too heavy into the plant material or you just lose some of those big, beautiful flowers that are gonna be developing for next season, okay? So enjoy your hydrangea families, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy.